if I'm not mistaken, am I crazy? I think Hearthstone was there for every single HomeStory Cup, right? I think it's been there every single edition. I know Roddy missed a couple. If you remember, that was like the arrival or the meme of like the Roddy soundboard for like the couple of times he wasn't there. Like they had the soundboard to make up for it. But I think Hearthstone was there for every single one. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's been there every single edition. But here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Solaris. We have the red Zerg player, the Swedish Zerg representing Team Roddy. It is Fjant. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the American Terran player representing the CranKy Ducklings. He's one of our own. He is Dolan. Now, I may have to eat my words, but coming into this, Dolan is typically the most standard against Zerg. Like, he's hyper-aggressive and very cheesy against Protoss, very Honmono-esque. Very aggressive against Protoss players. But against Zerg, we've seen more standard play. We've seen, late game mech out of Dolan. We've seen some bio play as well, some 3-base, like 8 Raxes even. Dolan doesn't have to be wild and crazy, but he can be. We saw that yesterday against Serral. We casted Dolan against Serral, and Dolan, he went for a 1-base double factory mass cyclone all in one game, and another game he went for a 1-base 4-Rax all in against Serral. Just non-stop 1-base all ins, basically, from Dolan. But we'll see what he brings to the table here against Fjant. Again, I'm sure he only was hyper-aggressive because it was Serral of all players. Because Serral is like a heavy favorite for now. Rax, expand. Standard opener from Dolan. Let's go. You mean there is a player or just there? Just there, yeah. Maybe it's a player as well, but yeah, I think Hearthstone is just there. Yeah, all the time, Bobby, all the time. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Now Dolan gonna be SCV scouting across the map. Reaper is gonna be moving out as well. Gonna be going for a bit of aggression here, dancing with the units of Fjant. As we do pick off a couple of lings so far. Fjant also going for a hatch gas. Full standard over from our Zerg player. His role here, his goal is to keep up with the Reaper. Oh, but does get one. One drone goes down. A bit of a misstep there by Fjant. Queen comes out 1 second too late. Not a bad start here by Dolan. It's one drone, one ling. Doesn't delay the 3rd base, but does trade well nonetheless. Oh, God, calm down. As he wants another ling. Highness Dolan is going to back up. Likewise, Fjant getting set up. Oh, hello, Simon. Simon Prince, cast by replay. If you do wish us to cast your replay, then join our Discord server, and you can post your replay there in the Discord, and we can cover it. We can do so. We can do so. At some point. As Overlord is going to be coming in for a scout, confirming the opener of choice here, and Dolan, he's going for a 1-1-1. Is going for a 1-1-1 opener, very aggressive here, delaying his 3rd base in favor of, it looks to be Banshees. Looks to be Banshee production, as we do have our add-on swap. Overlord is going to go down, and what do we go for? This is when he goes like Raven or something crazy. Lib, oh, let's go. The fake out, Papi. The fake outs of the Banshee going to go for a Liberator instead. That is going to be an Armory on the way as well. Dolan going to be doubling down on a Hellbat push. Yeah. Very aggressive here. And from here, this doesn't have to be an all-in, but this has to trade well. Can, of course, transition into a 3rd base. We'll see how committed Dolan can be. There are variations of Hellbat pushes where you pull the boys to repair. Ling Scout going to be denied. Back at home, Fjant is just droning, saturating his bases. Getting up to 3-base economy. Plenty of queens. How many queens do we have? We have 6, soon to be 7 queens. Not too bad. But Fjant is in the dark, and we need a safety Baneling Nest. I say we need it. We can defend with pure Ling Queen. There we go. 12 Lings are on the way. It's going to be a tight defense here by Fjant. We'll see if he can pull it off. As the Hellions do rotate around, they head straight for that third. There we go. We do morph in those Hellbats. The Hellbats are upon us. They're going to be waddling on in towards that third base. The Queens are caught out. One of the Queens almost going down. And it will fall. No transfuses are available. Fjant not ready for this. But Dolan's going to back off at the same time. Liberator does rock up in the main. We shoot down a Queen, get a drone. The Queens are busy. They're out of position. And Dolan is getting damage done. At the same time, Fjant's going for a big counterattack. But back at home, we have a full wall off. We have a Hellion as well. We will delay the third. That's all we can accomplish. As Dolan does come back home. That's a lot of damage on the CC. That's a lot of damage. Can we force a cancel? Up! It's close. We do force a cancel. Big pickoff there. Fjant. Oh, I didn't believe. I did not believe in the Link counterattack, but we cancel that third base. Very nicely done. That was an almost done third as well. Meanwhile, behind this, it's mech. It's Blue Flame. 2 more factories. Ooh, we actually have Thors. We're going for a Thor drop. Medivacs. Medivacs are on the way. Quanta, is that you? Quanta, I missed you. Oh my god. The Thor drop is upon us. Hellions, they ignore the Queens. They go straight for the natural base. The Lings are out of position. And drones are going to get roasted. We ignore the natural, go straight for the main base instead. The Lings are trickling in, but they're being roasted as well. Going for another counter. Can we cancel the third base again? No shot. We can. We can cancel the third. Dolan, he evacuates. That's a kill, not a cancel. Thors are out, but against Lings? Oh my god. Dolan going to try to hold on. Across the map, the Hellions get cleaned up, but they killed 15 drones. They cripple the economy here of Fjant. And now we can counterattack, this time with some Thors. Here we go. The Thor drops are upon us. Dolan didn't lose any SCVs. He's still ahead in the worker count, ahead in the economy. He lost his third base for a second time, which is brutal. But these Thors, they have a lot of potential. They have a lot of potential here as Fjant is getting into Roach production. Fourth base on the way. He's droning as hard as he can to catch back up. But Dolan on 50 SCVs against the 39 drones of Fjant. We catch an Overlord. Fjant getting in position. Roaches are on the way. Thors, they have arrived. Oh, another cancel! No shot! Another kill! Oh my god. Fjant. Medevac goes down. Thor as well. Big pickoffs, and Dolan is falling apart. Losing a Thor. Losing his third base for a third time. But here comes a Blue Flame. Run by. Oh my god. The Hellbats. No. Get away. Hellbats are morphed in. We're going for the drones. Alas, Fjant is able to pull back in time. Yeah, we should be able to deal with this. We should shut this down. The Hellbats will be forced back. I quickly check. Hearthstone appeared in HomeStory Cup 6 for the first time. And then every single one, including the latest, 24. He won 13. Yeah, I remember the year of Hearthstone. That was such a big moment as well when Hearthstone won HomeStory Cup 13. Like, that was back when I actually used to go full degen and just stay up and watch all of HomeStory Cup. That was an amazing tournament. That was beautiful. That was the year of Hearthstone, unironically. Year of Hearthstone. Meanwhile, Dolan doing what they can to try and distract Fjant back at home. Do we have a... there we go. Third base in the main this time. We've learned our lesson. We're going to make it safely here behind the wall. Not a part of the wall. Meanwhile, Dolan getting into his tank production. Fjant, he's rocking up once again, hoping to deny that third base, I'm sure. Maybe for the fourth wall, he will change position. Yeah, he does. You're not wrong. This time, he's learned his lesson that the CC is safe. Don't worry about it. But Fjant, he has arrived, looking to threaten that natural base. Behind this, he's droning, working towards a Spire. Fjant, he's still behind in SCVs, in workers, by the way. Dolan, heavily oversaturated. He's been making non-stop workers this entire time. He desperately wants a third. He's got 40 SCVs. Oh my god. Let him expand. Let him cook, Papi. Let him cook. Ay, ay, ay. He's trying. But still contained to 2 bases. He just wants to break free. Gonna be long distance mining. Fjant in position. He's gonna pick off some of these workers. SCVs are going down. Again, a big overextension from Dolan. Gonna be losing so many SCVs. At the same time, he's across the map with the Liberator killing drones as well. That's gonna be 21 dead workers. The advantage that Dolan had, no longer there. He didn't see the army. He didn't know. Massive loss. 23 workers. At the same time, though, that's 20 drones. The libs. Oh my god, we're getting down and dirty. We're just no. You don't want to be a worker for either Dolan or Fjant. He doesn't take care of them, Papi. They don't take care of their workers. 22 dead workers. Oh my god. Not like this. Someone get the union involved. Someone. Oh my god. That's brutal. 40 dead drones here for Fjant. 25 in total for Dolan. Dolan still has the better economy. He has mules on top of a 3-base saturation. Fjant is going to be committed here. But he's pushing into a wall of tanks. We can't touch this. We could try to skirt the edge here of the base and try to go for the mineral line. That is true. Meanwhile, mutas, they have arrived. The muta switch. I see tanks. What shoots up? We have 1 Thor. Uh-oh. 1 Thor and a couple of Vikings. Liberator comes in as well. The splash damage is on oh my god. We shut down the mutas. We do shut down the mutas in the end. There was potential, but 1 Thor, a couple of Vikings, 1 Lib and a Dream, and that is enough for a Terran. Liberator production has commenced. Thors as well. Fjant's getting ready to potentially push into the 3rd base, but again, we have a line of tanks. We can maybe find a tank here, but not quite. Oh, we do get into the mineral line. SCVs are going down. We do catch some of these workers. 7 SCVs. Fjant evening up the worker count. Now, Dolan is still ahead. Oh god! The mutas! There's no way out! No! Every single muta goes down. How many mutas? That was 900 gas down the drain. 9 mutas for 7 SCVs. Not a good trade. Not a good trade for Fjant. Not what he wanted. And again, Dolan, he still has the better economy. 4th base is on the way. He's looking to max out on mech. Meanwhile, Fjant reinvesting here into these mutas. +1 air attack is on the way. Mutas as well. Alien Rumbai is coming in. Fjant not quite in position. No. The boys are being pulled to fight the SCVs. Not like this. So many drones are going down. Ay, ay, ay. As we do clean up those Hellions. Well, Fjant, he is committed. Very much so. The mutas are back. There's 4 of them. Not quite enough to one-shot a worker, but, you know, we're getting some SCVs. Eventually they will be shut down. Fjant's main army still not committing. Tech-wise, what are we working with? We don't have a hive. Without a hive, we don't have any Vipers, no blinding clouds, no abductions. This army from Dolan, we're reaching critical mass. Soon he's going to be able to push, and I don't think Fjant can stop him. He can maybe try to go for a counterattack and force Dolan to turn back around, but in a head-to-head fight, this is going to be brutal. And, oh boy, we'll see how Fjant does engage. Does catch a tank. Or he can maybe catch the tanks here as well. There we go. 2 tanks going to be going down. 1 to the mutas, 1 to the army. At the same time, another Hellion run by here does catch some of these drones. A bit of a missed rally. Dolan bleeding out, what, 2, 3 tanks and a Thor. Very nicely done. Meanwhile, mutas still wreaking havoc. They get another 7 SCVs. Fjant is making some magic happen. Fjant is maxing out. Dolan has been struggling. Oh. He's been struggling here to maneuver his army. But finally, Fjant is getting up to a solid economy, up to 73 workers, soon to be almost 80 drones. Hive is now done. Infestation bit's done with that, of course, Neural. The problem is, because we went mutas, it's hard to get into Vipers because there are Vikings to zone the Vipers away. God, this is... And Dolan, he still has to max out. Still looking to rebuild. That's a lot of infestors. Neural is done. Are we crazy enough to go for like a mass Neural here? I mean, it could work. Meanwhile, no! The drones! Not again! Oh my god. 13 drones go down. The Hellion run by. Getting a bit out of hand. We were almost there. We almost showed up to 80. Almost. It's not happening. It's not gonna happen. We had almost recovered, almost gotten a solid economy here for the Zerg player, but alas, no, it's not gonna happen, at least not in game 1. So here we go. We are gonna be committing. 19 drones go down. Here come the infestors. This is it. This is the moment for Fjant. There's no turning back. Oh my god, but so many Ravagers go down. The tank shots were insane. At the same time, we get back in 20, 30 drones. Ay. We morph into the Hellbats as well. Just to trade that much more efficiently. We're going for another drone. Only one survived. Now no survive. 32. 32 workers. Hellions are coming in once again. This time the Lings are in position. We should shut this down. I just realized that Fjant has 0 Lings. Oh god. His upgrade's just now coming into play. So heavily delayed. And this is it. This is the push. This is the death march of Dolan. How many tanks? 27 tanks. More tanks than there are anything else here for Fjant, other than drones. We have 8 Roaches to defend, 7 Ravagers, 10 Infestors. Now, outside of like a mass fungal, a mass neural, we do have, okay, there we go, 9 Broodlords. Broodlords are on the way. Looks like we're going to try and force some friendly fire here as the Infestors, they wedge themselves in between all these tanks. Do have the on siege. Does Dolan notice? He doesn't notice the shadow. Here we go, pushing them forward. The Broodlords, though, they're going down. Did you get the Neural? Big scale, massive skin here, and every single Infestor goes down. They Neural 1 Thor, that's all they had. The Infestors get caught out. Big scan, GG, and Dolan will take game number 1. GG, Papi. Ay. Oh my god. The amount of drones that tied this game, I didn't check towards the end. I didn't want to check. I didn't. I'm feeling over 100. Over 100 workers died. Ay. Again, Dolan achieving so much with his Hellion run-bys. It was back and forth, though. There were moments for Fjant where he was able to, peek off the third base time and time again, catch the transferring workers of Dolan as well. So Fjant, he had his moments. But alas, was not able to overcome Dolan in the end. Dolan was able to max out. The Muta switch as well was lackluster. Remember, we lost 9 Mutas for 7 SCVs. It was brutal, losing all those Mutas. And yeah, Fjant just had a really hard time getting into the mid game, getting into the late game. Was wasn't really able to be in control, or didn't have map control either. Dolan just constantly abusing him with all those counterattacks, the run-bys. GG, well played. And with that, we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. What was the plan with the Infestors? I'm assuming we were going for a mass neural play. If there were more Thors, but like because there were so many tanks, like it was I don't know. It was a Hail Mary play. I don't know if there was a plan with them. Not too sure. But alas, with that, we're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Hardlead, we have the American Terran player representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is Dolan. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Zerg player representing Team Roddy. Down to the series, looking to fight back. It is Fjant. Now, I'm assuming the play was one, there was very little anti-air, and if you remember, Fjant was going to Broodlords. He had like 6 Broodlords. So maybe his plan there was to neural the Thors, focus down the Vikings, and then just eliminate the anti-air, because there was very little. There was like 4 Vikings, like 2 Liberators, and like 1, maybe 2 Thors. So maybe the plan was to deal with the anti-air, then win and deal with the army with his Broodlords, even though he didn't have many. Like, he would have had enough. But as we saw, he went for the neural, we saw the scan, and every infestor died. Because it was not pretty, man. It was not pretty. And with that, Dolan does take the first game. Ooh, but now we're going to be settling into game number 2. Again, Dolan more than willing to play mech, but he doesn't have to. He can play bio, of course. Oh, there's one. Oh, my apologies. There we go. Best of 3, Papi. Best of 3. As we do see Fjant going for a hatch gas pool opener. Standard stuff here out of our Zerg player. Likewise, Dolan going for a Rax expand. From here, though, our attention is on Dolan. We saw last game Dolan went for a 1-1-1 into a Hellbat push. So we'll see if Dolan goes for a delayed third base again, or for something more economic. So he's just opening the door. It's very hot here. It's very hot in Australia. I'm sweating, Paddy. I'm sweating. It's that summer for you. But yeah, from here, just Rax expand into the factory. Back at home, we do have our first Reaper. Does delay the third base. Very nicely done here by Dolan. Does confirm the third. Gonna rotate around towards the natural. Last game, he was able to get 1 drone kill, but that is really the most you can ever hope for here. As he does threaten that mineral line. Lings and Queens are in position, and we will force Dolan back. Dolan is about be forced to retreat. Almost gets the tumor. Not quite, though. Doesn't get it in the end. Dolan is going to be going for the add-on swap here. And once again, 1-1-1. We have a 1-1-1 opener, a delayed third base, very aggressive style here from Dolan. This led into a Hellbat push. Doesn't have to lead into it again. But once again, we do have Hellions on the way. A Tech Lab for an add-on swap here to get potentially Banshee production underway. Reaper does slip into the main. Does slip into the mineral line. But is not going to find too much more damage here. Just confirming no additional gases. Confirming no Roach Rush or anything like that before being eventually shut down. Eventually shut. Up! There we go. As the Reaper will fall. Behind this, it's the same build so far. It's going to be Hellion Lib. A Tech Lab on that, and yeah, there's the armory. Same build. Exact same build. 2 games in a row here from Dolan, going for a Hellbat push alongside Liberator Harass. Overlord is coming in for a scout, and the Overlord won't see much. We'll see the Tech Lab on the starport, where we can see that it's a fake out. We can see that it's not BCs or Banshees. So Fjant is going to be in the dark, but he goes further in, and he will get eyes on the armory. And now he knows. Now he's aware that it is the same build as game 1. He's aware. He needs Queens, and he's a little bit more at home to defend against those Hellbats. Queen production well underway. A couple of safety links as well to deny a dive. Now, Dolan, he knows he got scattered, so he can get a faster third. And there it is. Third CC's on the way. Hopefully this time we can hold on to it. Hopefully this time we can save it. Hopefully. Aye. And here we go. Liberator making its way towards the natural. We have Hellions towards the third. And where are the Queens going to be as the Lings, they do rock up at the third base of Dolan? Oh my god, I'm getting some deja vu. Liberator does siege up. We do get a kill on a Queen in the natural. The Hellions, they race back home. This time we will finish the third base. And this time, this Liberator won't get out of control. So we're coming back in, we see the Queens, and we will back off. Again, Dolan being very careful with how he does maneuver. Oh, the Queen barely does hug the edge. Does get away. As the Liberator does reposition into the main base, Hellions are going straight for the natural. The Lings, can we keep up? Oh my god, we can. Can we though? The Jukes. There we go, the Hellbats are on the way. The Lings, they commit. They're going to be forced back. The Hellbats are going to waddle away. At the same time, the Liberator going ham. The main base getting another couple of drones. And behind this, there's that Thor drop. Thor drop is on the way. Queen's getting in position, still zero mining in the main base. This Liberator has done so much. It may not have killed too many things. It killed one Queen and like a handful of drones and some larva, but it denied so much mining, both at the natural and the main base. It does actually impact the economy, especially early on like this. Meanwhile, Dolan getting to his blue flame, mech once again. Thor drop is soon to be upon us. Last game, the Thor drop was a little bit lackluster. It killed one Overlord, and that's it. Like, one Overlord and, like, a Roach or two. Didn't achieve too much, but this time, Dolan, he can commit. He can actually push here. Doesn't just have to harass with the Thors. He can push out with all these Hellions, soon to be Hellbats. Uh-oh. Okay, so the Thors can focus down the Queens. The Hellions can deal with the Lings. This push is pretty terrifying. And here we go, the Hellbats are morphing in. We're waddling onto creep. Fjant in some trouble. Banelings are on the way, but they're not ready yet. We can push on forward. The blue flame Hellbats, the Liberator as well, leaping forward on top of the Queens. We're getting to the mineral line. Yeah, Queens are going down. The Banelings will finish. How good are the splits? How good are the splits here for Dolan so far? Up, decent connections. But there's still too much left over. Far too much. The Lings are being cleaned up. Big connections on those Hellbats, but the Thors, they stand strong. And we do take control of the third base. That's 11 drones going down. Dolan gonna pull back. Waiting for reinforcements. Tanks are on the way. Lings, they dive on top of the Thors. Big pickups. I'll pick up here from Dolan. Saves the tanks. And pulls back to the safety of his reinforcements, and this is snowballing out of control. This doesn't just kill 11 workers, we're killing the fourth base, and we can even end the game from here as well. Massive tank shots. Behind this Dolan, he's happily getting his third up and running, throwing down more factories. He's not all in, by the way, but this has already achieved so much damage. The Vikings are here. I guess they can land, they can help support. Making whatever we can. Yeah, the tanks are within range of the third base. Already killed the fourth. Lings try to go for a counterattack, but alas, there are SCVs to defend. And Dolan, he does retreat. Okay, thankfully he doesn't overextend. He respects the army of Fjant, sees all these Ravagers, he's going to back off, reinforce, repair everything, and come back with a stronger army. And again, that was a great trade here for Dolan. What did he lose? He lost Hellbats, that's it. He kept all of his medevacs alive, his Thors, his tanks, all of his high-tech units were preserved. Dolan barely losing any gas whatsoever. Here we go, Fjant going for a counterattack. Oof. Tanks though, they're in position. Mutas are on the way. Bold move to go for mutas considering we already have 2 Thors on the field. We'll see if we can pull it off. Hellion Rabbi comes in. Nothing to roast up. We can go straight for the natural. Fjant out of position. Is racing back home. No, the drones. Not again. Drones are going to get roasted here. Once again in game 2. 13. 14. 14 workers go down, and we're not done. We have more Hellions here at the third base as well. Oh my god, 22 workers go down. Insane Hellion shots, 23 even. Behind this, here come the mutas. They have a lot of work to do. They're getting some workers. We need more. We need to kill an entire mineral line essentially, but here come the Vikings, the Libs, the Thors as well. We get 5 SCV kills, and that's not good enough. Fjant trying to push forward here, hoping to pull apart his opponent. Oh, the Libs. As the Liberators do chase back those mutas. Here we go. Fjant rotating around towards that third. A bunch of these tanks are on siege. Oh, yo, we're moving out. Uh-oh. Dolan moving out at the wrong time, exposing his third base. We can push in. We can push in. Fjant now knows that. Mute as they dive into the natural. Dolan out of position. Send it, Papi. Send it. And there we go. He does dive on that third. SCVs are going to be going down. The Biles. They connect 7, 8, 10. 11 workers. Nice move here. Nice attack from Fjant. Pushing on forward. Biling down the CC as well. Oh my god. Can he get the base? No shot. Doesn't get the base, but does get 13 workers. Again, just a very unfortunate time for Dolan to reposition. But he's getting a 4th and a 5th base up. Still has a solid economy. Behind this. Oh no. Not again. No, not again. 11 drones. There's nothing to kill. There's nothing left. Get out of here. Ah. 15 drones go down, and we still have another Hellion behind this mineral line as well. Can we get 16? Can we get 17? Oh, we can. Just over a mineral line worth of drones. Just no saturation whatsoever here at the third. The mutas are doing what they can, but these Hellion run-bys have been insane. Yeah, they've been getting out of control, out of hand. Fjant's trying to do what he can here with these mutas. Meanwhile, Dolan is going to be committing. He's going to be pushing out. The Death March. Once again, it's here. The mass amount of tanks. How many tanks do we have? We have 16 tanks. 3 Thors. Vikings. Cyclones. A handful of Libs. Mainly tanks, though. As we do scan the army, Burrow has been revealed. Dolan going to be on top of that. Should be saving up some of those scans. Red Ravager pushes in. We do pick up some of these Thors, but God, the tank shots, the tank shelling here is just too much. Yeah, Dolan far too much ahead here. It's a numbers game. It's a supply game here. Fjant cannot keep up. Not anymore. Not after losing so many workers earlier. His economy has been crippled. Never was able to get up and running. The 4th base goes down. Yeah, now we're laying siege upon the 3rd. Fjant trying to come in from a different angle of attack, doing his best here. Another base falls. Fjant still has another base up and running, going for a counterattack even, but he's running into a planetary. Not like this. Yeah, the Cyclones can chase this down. Picking up another 3 Ravagers. They do come across an orbital. A little bit greedy here of Dolan to get an orbital, not a planetary. But as Dolan chases this down, his main army is still pushing forward, and there is no answer. We have a handful of Roach Ravager, this time no Broodlords, no Greater Spire, no Hive Tech, decent Vials. But the tanks, they are sieging. Oh, they're getting on top of the Ravagers. And it's going to be a slow death for Fjant. Down less than half the army supply of Dolan. The Ravagers across the map were cleaned up. Now Dolan, he can focus on his push, pushing into the natural, just zoning the rest of Fjant's army away. And there's just no pushing in. Oh no! That's Fjant, he's gonna try to... His final efforts here. GG gets called, there's nothing left for the Zerg, and Dolan will take the series 2-0. Flexing his mech. GG. GG, well played. Dolan will take it, and yeah, the same build 2 games in a row. Remember, it was a Hellbat push into a Thor drop. Game 1, he committed with his Hellbats. Game 2, he saw how many queens there were, so he actually held back with his Hellbats, and he went for a later push, a later timing alongside the Thors instead. So yeah, nice adaptation out of Dolan, respecting the fact that Fjant had scattered the Hellbats or scattered the armory ahead of time, so Dolan did adjust. And that push was terrifying. The Thor Hellbat push did so much, killed 11 drones, killed a base, and was reinforced by tanks. And yeah, once Dolan got the ball rolling, never let it go. Also, a big shout out to the Hellion run-bys. The Hellion run-bys were crazy throughout the entire series. So many drones went down. Unfortunately, Fjant was just not able to keep up with the Hellion movements, with the map control, with the map vision, with the harassment of Dolan. Was pulled apart. GG, well played. And with that, Dolan will take it. Dolan will take the 2-0 here. We'll take it in the end. And that is going to be wrapping up our broadcast for today. That is going to be wrapping up all of our HomeStory Cup matches here. As we do have a look at what we have just gone over. Man, as we do switch our scenes over towards our lovely spreadsheet. As from the top, we had a Laser taking down Hearthstone 2-1 in a close best-of-3 series. We also had a Serral versus Hearthstone as well in another best-of-3. Again, Hearthstone having a bit of a harder time against the Zerg players there, but did have a really good showing. Even though there were 2-0s, or even though Serral versus Hearthstone was 2-0, I recommend checking out Game 1. Game 1 on Alcyone, late game, Skytoss versus Serral. Hearthstone, he had his moments, he had his opportunities, and wasn't too bad. It was a pretty solid game there. So definitely a good effort by Hearthstone. Likewise, the same against the Laser. Meanwhile, we had Dolan versus DNS. As you can imagine, that was crazy. That was wild. That was a very aggressive style out of Dolan. DNS was able to scout more often than not, was able to react, respond, and survive the all-ins of Dolan, just barely, in that 2-1 score. We had Serral versus the Laser. That was also like almost a masterclass of late game ZvZ from Serral. Game 1 was the highlight. Game 1 was on Radisson Station. It went all the way to like 6 base versus 6 base, a split map, Hydra Lurker Viper versus Hydra Lurker Viper. Good stuff. If you're a fan of late game ZvZ, or maybe if you don't manage to watch much of it, because honestly ZvZ is so dominated by Roach v Roach, that was a really good game. Really solid game 1 there between the two of them. Game 2 was a little bit more straightforward. Then we had Hearthstone versus DNS. Hearthstone also taking a more defensive role, scouting, reacting to what DNS is doing. Really solid performance there. Really good showing from Hearthstone in that PvP. I think that was a really good showcase of what Hearthstone can do when he's in control. And then likewise towards the end here, Dolan versus Fjant. My condolences to Fjant, as he did end up taking a loss there against Dolan, but again, he's still a young up-and-coming player. I want to believe that, again, he still has a lot of room to grow and a lot of room to improve, and going to all these offline events, it only benefits him. benefits him. So GG, well played. Much love to Fjant. Much love. And with that, that wraps up all 6 of our best of 3s tonight. Again, it was quite an intense day of StarCraft here, and that wraps up our coverage of Group A. It does wrap up our coverage. Next week, I don't think we're doing HomeStory Cup next week. Just checking. Next week we're going to be busy. Maybe we can squeeze in like one broadcast of HomeStory Cup on Tuesday, but all the tournaments are coming back next week. So Kung Fu Cup, World Team League, House Open Cup as well, KSL, everything is coming back next week. So we have a full week of StarCraft set up for us. We've just been supplementing some of these days with replay casts just because there's nothing live going on. But next week everything is coming back after DreamHack. So GG, well played. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Houdini. Houdini. Right, of course. Houdini, is that you? Thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime. Hope you had a great time. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Hope you enjoyed the games. If you're interested, we're going to be live here on this channel in 26 hours. In 26 hours time, we're going to be live here on the CranKy Ducklings. It's going to be a bit of a different broadcast. We're going to be covering DreamHack Atlanta. Day number 1 of DreamHack Atlanta is going to be here on this channel. We brought this up last time. Let's have a look here. Oh god, I don't have the link. Hold on. DreamHack Atlanta StarCraft 2023. Is this what I'm looking at? Okay. Here we go. We went over this yesterday, so we'll just briefly go over this here today. How can I find us? Bam, beautiful. As we scroll down, so tomorrow we're going to be covering DreamHack Atlanta, day number 1, the open stage of DreamHack Atlanta. I'm still not certain the schedule. I still need to confirm that, but this is going to be day number 1 tomorrow. We have 4 brackets, 4 groups, or 4 brackets, if you will. Double elimination. It looks like top 2 make it out. Brutal. So 8 players go in, top 2 make it out. We have a Hero versus Riser, DNS versus Mana, Nightmare versus Uko, Mixu versus Creator. A lot of Protoss, a couple of Zerg mixed in as well. I appreciate that there's some NA representation with Uko and Riser. Wish them the best of luck. Hero is going to be a big heavy hitter there in that group alongside Creator and the Korean Protosses. The trifecta of Korean Protoss are in that group. Best of luck for everyone trying to knock them down. That's it. Best luck. Scrolling down a little bit further, we have the Zerg group. We have Lambo, Reaper, Geralt, Shin, DRG, Dolan, Foxer, and Skillis. I mentioned this before. Let's have a look at the start time, actually. 1 day, 2 hours, 1 day, 2 hours. This is... yeah, 1 day, 7 hours. Okay, so it looks like Group A and Group B will start first, and then Group C and Group D will start afterwards. So if these 2 groups are starting at the same time, we will most likely jump on DRG Dolan. DRG Dolan into either a Foxer or Skillet in the next round. We're most likely going to be focusing here on this portion of the bracket. I mean, we're a little bit biased. You know, Dolan, he's our boy. He's one of the Ducklings, so this is most likely what we're going to be casting. But all of these games are going to be happening at the same time. And it's a shame. I would love to cast everything. Like, Geralt versus Shin, that's a really good series. That's another really good ZVP leading into Lambo or Reaper. Reaper can cause upsets. Reaper, he's the cheesiest Zerg player in America. We could see him pull off something crazy as well. So a lot of really good games going on. Creator versus Mixu is going to be fun. Uko versus Nightmare. DNS versus Mana could go either way. Hero versus Riser. It's a PvP. Anything could happen. So a lot of really good matches, but we can only cast one thing at a time. So we're most likely going to be focusing here on following DRG and Dolan into their winners match. And as a reminder, it's double elimination. So all these players here, if they get knocked down, they get knocked down here to the lower bracket. So a lot of games to be had. So after Group A and Group B, then it's going to be C and D. What are we going to be casting? Most likely Miguelito. It's so difficult. We have a lot of Ducklings here. Patty Mac and Vindicta, they're both ex-CranKy Ducklings, and I got a soft place in my heart for them. Soft place. Ryung is here. Bunny as well. Silky is back from retirement. I'm a big fan of Silky, but Silky did retire for quite some time, so I wish him the best of luck. It's going to be a rough series against Bunny, not gonna lie. Ryung versus Shutdown, could be a little bit closer. This PvP could go either way. I favor Trigger. Patty Mac has been focusing on his studies for a long time here. He's out of practice, so best of luck to Patty Mac. Vindicta versus Laser. We'll dive on this. We'll dive on Vindicta versus Laser. A Laser into the winner of Trigger versus Patty Mac is most likely the direction of our channel, of our stream. There's also Group D, don't get me wrong. And there's a lot of really good games here as well. Zane versus Scarlet. A house match. Like, they're both housemates. They used to be housemates, so they're going to be facing off. Hearthstone versus Eggs. I love that Eggs is traveling, by the way, to the Americas for this. Future versus Cham. That's a good series. If I had to pick a series here in Group D, that's my pick. Future versus Cham could go either way. Really good TvZ. We casted them in a show match a week ago. We casted them in a show match, and Cham beat Future. Cham beat Future in a best of 5, 3-1 last week, so that could go either way. Then we have Hero Marine versus Maples. Best of luck to Maples. Hero Marine is going to be looking to go through a tear here. So yeah, going to be a lot of fun. A lot of good fun. It won't just be us. I believe there are going to be some other community casters as well. We'll do our best to bring you as much coverage as we can, covering both of these groups. Again, it's going to be in 26 hours. 26 hours from now. 2 a.m. for me. You can see here. 2 a.m. start time. Lovely. The degen hours of casting. These EU and NA events, they're brutal, Bobby. They're brutal. As of course we're casting from Australia. I'm local here to Australia. Local. So yeah, that's the plan tomorrow. Plan for tomorrow's broadcast. So make sure you're a part of it. Make sure you tune in either to our stream or to some of the other streams. I don't think the main stream is going to be covering the open bracket. Or I think they go live later. I think the open bracket is just for like community casters, and then the mainstream goes live like maybe halfway through or something. They do leave this to the community casters. I think it's going to be us, maybe Renegade, maybe some other casters as well. 100% some other language casters will be there. So they got you covered. Otherwise, thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for supporting. We do appreciate it. Gracias, papi, gracias. Are you familiar with the Dolan duck? Of course, of course. Aussie. Aye. All right, from here we're gonna be heading off. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. Tier. We did get a replay cast redeemed earlier, and I did see you join the Discord. If you're there, I messaged you, papi. I messaged you. Give replay. If we can't cover it today, then we'll cover it another day. But we will have your replay queued up whenever we do have a replay cast. So we'll cover it, and it'll be on YouTube as well. It'll be on YouTube. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for supporting. We're going to be heading off for the night. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Don't know who. For Jumi is streaming, so maybe we'll raid for Jumi. Maybe we'll find someone else. Otherwise, I'm starving. It's midnight. Haven't eaten today. I'm going to go get some food. I'm going to go get some rest. Gonna go get ready for Atlanta tomorrow. It's gonna be a lot of good fun. So thank you so much, everyone. We appreciate it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Until then, hasta luego. Bye. Bye. Hasta luego. Hasta luego.